Just a second. All right. So, welcome, guys. Welcome. We are live here on YouTube and Facebook today. We're going to be making a whole bunch of glass hot air balloons. So, um, before I get started, I was going to start putting these away to make some space on my table here. Before I show you those, let me show you this right quick. This is the glass spirit balloon. So I made these back a couple years ago during the tragic accident with Nick Molesky's balloon going down here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, um, where we lost the pilot and all four passengers. Um, After that incident occurred, they have deemed it to be basically that the accident occurred because he had some sort of substances in his system. Now, I personally don't know what the toxicology report is, but I do know that here in New Mexico, recreational cannabis is legal. It's recreational, and that's one of the substances that they're trying to blame this accident on. Also, they're saying that he also has some sort of a stimulant within his system as well. And I do know that there are a lot of prescriptions out there that could possibly contain that substance and show up in a toxicology report. Now, whether or not the toxicology report can actually show you if it how much it is, if it was in your system within 24 hours, 30 hours, whatever, something like that. I haven't seen the toxicology report. All I know is that this pilot, this individual, is well known in the local scene here in Albuquerque, and of course throughout the whole entire balloon fiesta community and all the ballooning community. It's a worldwide family, a community of individuals who all balloon together in many different places, and so it was very tragic that his balloon went down. I did create that balloon. I replicated the Isaiah balloon to honor his balloon, to honor the passengers. But what I also created was the spirit balloon. And the spirit balloon, this balloon right here, it's a clear glass balloon. It has a blue gondola on it. So it's different than all the rest because it has the blue gondola on it. Most of the time I'm using the caramel or the butterscotch color for the gondola. So we're normally using this color here for the gondola and not a blue one. So this blue balloon is a very special balloon. It's a spirit balloon to represent and honor those that we've lost in tragic accidents. But also, this balloon is just to honor the spirit of ballooning and to honor just ballooning itself and just, the tremendous heights that we have soared in this experience. And so we do have these spirit balloons also available. And these spirit balloons I also will have available for $20. So let me know if you'd like a spirit balloon, and I can definitely work out a better deal on you, for you, with you, if you'd like to purchase a lot of spirit balloons in order to give them out as gifts. They make an excellent gift for Christmas coming up. So Balloon Fiesta, a lot of people are purchasing things, especially the ballooning community, are purchasing items, gifts and things from this year's balloon event, and then they'll gift them out to people throughout the year for their Christmas presents or for birthdays or holidays, anniversaries, things like that. And so if you've known me and you followed me for my career here with Gardenia glass and all the different things that I've made, glass balloons, the drop of water, glass drinking straws, the UFO pipe. There's so many different entities that Gardenia glass is, and so if you're just now following me, I've always followed the different holidays, the different occasions. So I know, like I just spoke about, Christmas is coming up. But before Christmas, we've got Halloween this month. For me, it's, you got State Fair, you got Balloon Fiesta, you got Halloween, you got Thanksgiving, and then you got your Black Friday specials and deals and everything, and then you go into the Christmas shopping season and into New Year's, and then from New Year's goes, the some people will celebrate things in January. Then we got Valentine's in February, a lot of people's birthdays and things like that. And then you just go into all the other different holidays that come up. Like you've got Easter, St. Patty's Day. There's the ending of the school year, spring break, all kinds of different things. There's a lot of different occasions that I personally will focus in on in order to make glass that is always sold and can be sold. So thank you for coming in. Welcome to the new studio display here. As you can see, we have Polar Dawn featured in the back now with the beautiful hat on, and then you got the balloon bag up here, and then those of you who might be able to see even above that, there is the photo of the glass, or not glass balloon. It's an amazing. I don't know what size it is, like a 2.5 by 3, something like that. A 2 by 3, 2.5 by 3. It's a painting. It's framed, and it's like an old school shot of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it's a cartoon, a cartouche, not a cartouche. What do you call that? Like when they make the characters a cartoon. It's basically a cartoon of our city, but with balloons and a balloon theme, and it's got balloons flying all over the place, and the balloons are tethered to different businesses, so then you can see like the old businesses that aren't even around anymore. Like you got the District Bar and Grill, Rally's 4th Street Pub. There's like the Pacini's Golden West. There's like so many different places that are on that map, and so that's a really, really cool poster right up here, which maybe one day I'll do a zoom in, a screenshot, or I'll show it off in some way. All right, so while we're talking here, let's get this going. This is a 1-hour video of of Dawn Patrol. So this is our hot air balloon team. This is Polar Dawn right here, and you'll be able to see us inflating the balloon, getting it all set up and everything. So I'll start this from the beginning. It's only 3 minutes in, but let me just get it all the way back to 0, and we'll start this video here. And maybe I'll even bring up a little bit of the volume, but it's already kind of loud with the fan going and everything. You can see the beautiful shot of the polar bears that are on top of the balloon. On top of the balloon is known as the crown. So, all right, let's play this here. And you guys can enjoy this video in the background while I'm getting some things put away here. All right. So these are some of the balloons that I have just in a bag here. I didn't pull out all of them. So I've got 5 of these, but pretty much these are already claimed and called for unless someone purchases them like right now and sends me the money and says, hey, set that one aside, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, I can set that one aside for you. But pretty much these are all going to a wholesale order where my friend will be set up at El Pinto. I believe El Pinto. It's a restaurant that's really close to the Balloon Fiesta, so a lot of people will go there and they'll have their mimosas on the patio while watching the Balloon Fiesta live. And that's really cool to be able to see that, to do that. So these are all like $20 balloons here. Now, I don't know what my friend is going to be selling these for. I told him he could easily probably charge 40 bucks for these. They are a balloon item. People come from all over the world looking for unique items and stuff. And so, it's these are all one of a kind. These aren't replicated. There are no two that are alike. You know, you are getting the original piece of artwork here when you get these. So I told him you can easily charge 40 bucks on these. We'll see what he sells it for. I do $20 retail, and then I can even make these even a little bit better on the price at a wholesale price. So if you want to sell these next year, we can get this started months and months in advance. There was an individual that my friend Manny, uh, God bless his soul, may he rest in peace. Manny, he was working. We were working with him actually through the ABQ Bite, the restaurant. Every first Sunday of the month, like this coming Sunday, we would be set up there with him. And he gave me a key to his business. He trusted me enough to give me a key so I could go in at any time I wanted to and set up any event. He didn't charge me. Like, that's the beauty of Manny is, he was always just willing to help out. And he allowed us to just set up events all the time. So we were always doing these vending events on Sundays, had a barter club going, or we attempted to. No one came out. I don't know why. No one came out. People were too busy, or they were still too scared because of the whole COVID thing, People living in fear. But it is what it is, We had to get through it all. All right, so there's a bag right there. These are all ready to go at wholesale. Like I said, if you saw any of those that I just put up on the screen, and if you didn't see them, you're gonna have to go back and rewatch it there. But if you want to claim these for $20 plus shipping, of course you pay for shipping. And if you order more than one, the shipping price is a lot better. I'm not going to charge you just like straight up like, oh, $5 per item or whatever. Like, no, it's whatever the shipping is. You're gonna pay for that. You're gonna incur the cost there, and I can send up to like I don't know how much in weight. Like I don't know if it's 3 pounds or I don't know, but 1 pound in glass is a lot because one piece of glass ain't much. But here's our balloon. This one right here, Polar Dawn, that you see right behind me. This is it right here. So check that out. Look at it. See that? Okay, let me put it over here for you guys. See that? Man, it's actual size. Just kidding. So yeah, so this is a beautiful Polar Dawn balloon right here. These ones are the custom balloons that I'm starting at $40 and up this year. I'm upping my prices this year because I figured out I'm the only one in the world who makes these. I'm the only one in the world. I'm the only glass artist in the world who replicates balloons to a T and can customize and do custom orders. And when I see other individuals who are selling their simple balloons, just real simple balloons like this for like $40 to $60, and I'm selling them for 20 bucks. And then, last year I was offering my custom balloons at $20 and up. And I would even be like, hey, if you want, I can do a dozen for 200 bucks. So then I was giving away 2 for free. Also, a dozen for 200 bucks. And like, this year we're going to do them at $40 each, and I can probably get away with doing 4 of them for $100. So that's 8 of them for $100 instead of a dozen. So I was giving away my glass, and I've been doing that. I've always kept my glass super affordable, and that way anyone can acquire it. Excuse me. And also, I love to be able to make things that are extremely affordable for even individuals who don't have a lot of money. There are kids who come out and they will purchase glass or items with their own allowance. And I love that. I love that their parents are teaching them how to earn an allowance and things like that. And so I like to offer them, little items. I don't know if I even have one here. Like, do I have a little spiral or a little mushroom pendant? I don't see one actually. But I love to offer them the simple ones that I make. Sometimes I offer them at $10 for the kids. I'll straight up be like, you buy one of these, I'll get you one for free. Or here, just $5. If it's $10, $5. If it's $20, it's $10 for you. I love to be able to do that for children and to show them, that there are good people in the world and they want their dollar to stretch. They want to be able to give them the value and even more of the value than what it's worth. Especially right now, when the dollar's like getting stretched so thin that it's like turning into monopoly money pretty much. So, but check this out. Oh, yeah. So they were actually talking about doing a world record of having more than like, I don't know if it was 50 or 80 mini balloons. They're these small remote control balloons that they were going to set up on the field. So that day I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be amazing. We're going to get to see the world record attempt. And then I don't know what happened, but the people of the remote control balloons, the mini balloons, apparently they don't have anyone to like coordinate all their efforts. There isn't one person on the radio. Like, for the whole balloon fiesta, we got like Art Lloyd Jr. and Glenn Moyer, and they're announcing the whole thing while there's a TV show going on and everything. Oh, you just saw our balloon right there, the yellow one. But you can, here, let me turn this down. I'm going to talk over myself right here, and that's not good. Okay, so turn down the volume there. I didn't want to be over talking on myself. But this is last year's event. At some point, this is us going out every day. We crew. I wake up at like 3 a.m. or even before that, or sometimes I don't go to sleep. We stay up all night and then go to bed when I get home. So we have to be out on the field by 5 a.m. So this is somewhere between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. that we're on the field right now. And all these other balloons are going up right now. These are the other Dawn Patrol balloons. There's only about a dozen Dawn Patrol balloons that go up in the air. This is a special Dawn Patrol balloon pen. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. It's a special Dawn Patrol balloon pen. And so they make these pens, right, that they don't, some of these they don't sell. You have to actually get them from the refs. We call them zebras. They're all dressed up in referee, black and white stripes. We call them zebras, and they are the ones who get the pilot's launch cards. So look, I'll show you. I don't want to show you whose this is, but you get an official launch card, right? This isn't our pilot. This is someone else. I found it on the ground. But you get a launch card that tells you what number you are. I'm not going to say who. And then it tells you launch from this spot. Yeah, and it tells you when you launch. So they have to check to make sure that you have your launch card, and then they make sure the crowd is cleared before you actually take off in the balloon. So right now, they're standing. This is called static. So you stand static, and let's get started here. I'm just gonna get sidetracked here by the balloon fiesta, but be sure to follow on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube if you want to follow us in the action, because I will be going live. Oh, here goes. Here's all the balloons. The original 13. Oh no, those were the Dawn Patrol balloons on the banner there. We get a banner on the gondola on the basket, and it was showing off the I don't know which balloons it was showing off. This microphone's been in the way right here. I'm not even using it anymore, so we're just going to get that out of the way. All right, so thank you for tuning in and watching. We're about to get started here and make some very simple balloons. We've also been allowing the kiln to get up the temperature. So let's check where that's at. So we're now up to 686 degrees in the kiln. We'll be bringing that up to 1080, to 1080 degrees. Hey, what's going on, Jordan? I see you're watching as well. So we're live here on Facebook, and then we're live here on YouTube. It's pretty cool. I can almost point to both cameras. If I go dead center, that almost works. So I'm just getting ready for Balloon Fiesta. In the background here, we got last year's event. This is one day out of many. So I'm just saying, if you guys want to follow my journey for the next couple of weeks at Balloon Fiesta, I'll be there every morning from 5 a.m. on the field. Probably start going live then at 5 a.m. And we'll have our own little balloon show right there. And look, there's the first balloon to take off. First Dawn Patrol balloon. So what's cool is Dawn Patrol, there's only like a dozen of us that go up in the air. And we get to go up if the winds are a little bit stronger than usual. Or a lot of people ask, like, oh, it's raining, it's sprinkling, you're going to go up still? We sometimes will still go up, but it's no fun to put away a wet balloon. And then having to deal with it later, like, when you fly it, the heat of that balloon, like, it'll kind of dry it up, but then you land it again, and then it's all dirty all over again. All right, we're gonna add some little dark cobalt here. I think that's a cobalt 6. So this is a really, really dark cobalt, almost black. We're gonna add this on one side. And I'm going to thicken up the lines here a little bit more, so we can just get a little bit more color saturated in these spirals here. And then I'm going to go with an extremely bright contrasting color. So we're going to go with kind of like a black and then orange right here. We're just going to try to lay that down real thick. All right, so now we lay down about an inch long of colored glass on each side, opposite of each other, like that. Oh, I'm going to move the mouse out of the way there. So yeah, I highly recommend you follow me on Facebook, or make sure you subscribe on YouTube, and also hit that bell notification so you can get all notifications. So whenever I go live, you get that in the early morning. Because like I said, this is 5 a.m., between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m., before a lot of people's alarms are even going off. People are stuck in traffic at this point trying to get into the Balloon Fiesta. There are some people who they get up early, but not early enough, and they miss the whole Balloon Fiesta, and they get to watch it from the traffic. That's sad. So I recommend, if you guys are going to experience Balloon Fiesta, wake up like we do. Get up at 3 a.m. Start driving to get out there before 5. Get in line at 4 a.m. Get on the field by 5, so you can actually see Dawn Patrol. Because it's an amazing show. To see us taking off in the morning, to see the balloons, it's like seeing a glow. Every day we are aglow. A lot of times the people will be waiting, like, when's the balloon glow? It's like, oh, it's on Friday and Saturday nights with the fireworks. Like, no, it's actually every morning with Dawn Patrol. You want to come see a glow in the sky? It's the only time that balloons fly in total darkness. Dawn Patrol. It's what we do. Polar Dawn. Polar Dawn was made specifically for Dawn Patrol. It's an ultralight balloon. It has a thinner fabric, a thinner material that allows for the fire when he hits the torch and it goes, he goes and poofs it, boom, 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 like that, and he just starts gets the burner going, right? It lights up that balloon. It makes this thing look so bright. Like, it just lights up in the sky. I'm sure you'll see it here in just a little bit. It's like one of the brightest balloons in the morning. So we're a hit. Like, we're always photographed. We're always in the videos. Like, we're seen around the world all the time, You'll see me on the videos and stuff around the world. There was a year, 2 years ago, before the 50th anniversary, where I actually gifted out Art Lloyd Jr. and Glenn Moyer the spirit balloons, and I told them what they were for and what they represented. And they actually took them, put them on air. Thank you, Art Lloyd Jr. and Glenn Moyer, for doing that. And thank you for actually telling everyone on the air who I was as an artist. Dan the Glassman Gardino from Glass Balloons on Facebook. They put all my information out there for the world to hear. And that was at the time when they were unveiling the 50th anniversary balloon. So a lot of people were watching. Like, that was like, I don't know, if I had to pay for advertisement, I'd say that was at least like a $50,000 price, right? That I got for free. I don't know. Sometimes things just work out. So people around the world have already known about glass balloons. They've heard about Dan the Glassman through some of these things without, maybe they just heard it without realizing what they're hearing. But yes, people all over the world have heard of Dan the Glassman and glass balloons because I gifted Art Lloyd Jr. and Glenn Moyer the spirit balloons. And then last year, for the 50th anniversary, I created the 13 original balloons from 1972. So these balloons were the balloons that started off the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. That's a big deal. These 13 balloons came in 1972. There were like, I don't know, maybe 100 balloons invited, and only 13 made it. I don't know, it could have been like only 60 balloons invited. But let's say, between like 50 and 100 balloons were invited, and only 13 actually made it. With shipping, trying to get their balloons across the country or from different continents, maybe. They made it to Albuquerque. 13 balloons made it. Many more pilots actually were here, still waiting for their balloons on the shipment. Only 13 balloons made it. So these 13 original balloons from 1972 is what started off the whole fiesta. And then the following year, the balloons that didn't make it, well, they actually came out and they made it. And they created the official Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta in 1973, where that was at the I guess at the balloon field, which is south of where the Balloon Fiesta Park is now. And so, 1973, that's when they made an official event. And, but before that, in 1972, they launched from the Coronado Center, the Coronado Mall parking lot here. So it wasn't like any big old festival or an event. It was just balloonists coming in to honor a local radio show. I believe it was KOB Radio. And they were the ones who, I don't think it was KOAT, I think it was KOB Radio. And they were having their like 50th anniversary or whatever anniversary they were having. You can see the colors there. And that's what actually kicked off the balloon event and the balloon fiesta, what we know it as the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta today. So last year I replicated all 13 of those original balloons, I tried to get them on the air with Art Lloyd Jr. and Glenn Moyer. Sorry, and it's so hard. Like to try to schedule anything with these guys when they already have scheduled events throughout the week. Like for me to be able to even get them the spirit balloons the year before, that was a task. I'm busy crewing, I'm working, and then we had to fly, we had to go and chase the balloon down, we had to pack up the balloon, and then when we're done, so Dawn Patrol is usually done flying before everyone else, unless we take a super long flight that day of 3 hours or something, but usually we go up in the air, and then we come down an hour or two later, and then we get back on the field, and we join the rest of the balloons, and we get to actually see a lot of the balloons still taking off during the morning show, the opening ceremony, and then all the other events that are happening on the field. Like if you go to the field, you can see a bunch of chainsaw carving and competition there. You get to go into like the different places where they show you how balloons are made, how the baskets are made. They have a kid area where you can like color and do fun activities. There's a simulator, a flight simulator that I always get stuck playing for hours. I need one for myself. But I get stuck playing this flight simulator for hours, and you try to fly a balloon, and there's two different ones. I like the tabletop one where you fly the balloon and you try to land it back in the park and throw a beanbag. So, as you're playing these games, you're actually watching the event go on. There's our chase van right there. So we're now packing up everything. I believe we are up in the air now. Is that us right there? I don't know. We're somewhere. There's Flying Oasis. We normally set up next to them every year. Floating away this. Everyone's names are so cool. Is that us? I don't know. But that's our crew. We're all in headlamps. So we all have to wear headlamps and everything. It's dark. We're flying right now in pitch darkness. It's so awesome. And then the thing is, the higher you go, the colder it gets. So if you're not dressed for that, if you don't have the proper shoe wear or socks, footwear, good jacket on that you can then take off, because eventually that sun comes up and then it gets really hot. But when the sun's not up, it's cold. Especially if it's like cloudy and there's been like rain the night before and the ground is all wet and you go up into the moisture and you go up near the clouds and you get even more wet up there. It gets cold. It's interesting because you're like underneath this big old flame, right? And you got the whole burner, it's all woof, 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 right? And you got that burner and that warms you up for a second. But as soon as that burner's off, you go right back into the freezing cold. And the atmosphere or wherever we go, we stay below 10,000 feet usually. So, Albuquerque's already at a mile high. We're mile high, 5,000 feet up, 5.2 or something like that. And then our Sandias, the mountains that we have here, they, I believe, reach a peak of like 11,000 something, 11.8 or something like that. And so we fly really close to as tall as the mountain peak here. All right, so right now we're all packing up, and then someone's going to have to walk in front of the van and help the van get out of the crowd and everything. So it's a lot of fun. So now we're getting ready to chase. We've already launched the balloon, and now it's time to give chase. You know what? I have to do something here. There's one line. I must have not lined these up properly. There's one line. It looks like it's completely missing something here. I'm like, let's just add one in real quick. I'm gonna have to melt it down a little bit. All right. Just make sure that that's all adhered to it with the rest of them there. All right, so this is what it's looking like so far. Now we're going to add the loop on top, and then we'll take it off the rod. We'll do a flame cut to remove it from the rod here. Those of you who are just joining, we're watching Polar Dawn in action. It's our balloon right here, Polar Dawn balloon, and we'll be flying for Dawn Patrol. So right now, this is the Dawn Patrol right here. We fly every year for Dawn Patrol. I've been just giving some story and sharing while I'm making some of these balloons here. So if you plan to come to Albuquerque, New Mexico for the balloon fiesta, you can find us on row M. And this year, I'm not 100% sure. We normally fly from like M2 or M3. But I believe we're actually away from the road this year. And we're more like M5, I think. Don't quote me on that, but you can come out and find us possibly as we're inflating the balloon and everything. Every morning we'll be flying for Dawn Patrol. We always do. So our pilot comes from Concord, New Hampshire. He's not local. He's a world-renowned pilot. He flies all over the world. He's got more adventures than anyone can even imagine. He pulls stories out his back pocket like it's nobody's business. And he's got some amazing stories to share. And he's a joker. So sometimes you're like hearing his stories, and the thing is like, okay, he's a balloon pilot, and he looks really, I don't know how you say it. He looks very humble. He looks very, like he would be a very polite individual and well-mannered and things. So, you know, and he's very bright. He's extremely wise and knowledgeable and all this, especially when it comes to ballooning. You know, everyone goes to him. He used to be the balloon pilot, the president of the Balloon Association of the world, I guess. Maybe of just the U.S. I'm not 100%. And so he's very well known, and people look up to him, right? And then he starts telling these stories, and the things that come out his mouth, you're like, whoa, did you just say that, Rick? Like, I'm Rick Jones. It's funny. We always call him Rick Jones. Because, you know, like Rick James. I'm Rick James. If you guys know the Eddie Murphy thing, then you guys will understand what I'm saying. I'm Rick James. He uses the B word. We call him Rick Jones. Well, we call him, that's his name. We call him that. That's his name, is Rick Jones, pilot. From Concord, New Hampshire. So I don't know how many years he's flown, but I've been crewing for close to like 10 years now with him. I got to give a shout out to our crew member, Kevin, for pulling me in many years ago. You know, just someone that I knew from our Cosmic family, the Cosmic Trading Post. He knew that I might have some free time. I don't have a regular 9-to-5 job. See, that's the thing. If you guys want to be able to do this kind of stuff, you can't be enslaving yourself to just one individual, or you'll never have these opportunities in life. You know, so I try to enslave myself to myself. You know, I have a lot of bosses. Anyone who places an order is my boss at that moment. So I have a lot of bosses to answer to and to try to please. But, you know, I work for myself. I make my own hours. And I will never fire myself for ever being late or calling in sick too many times. That's for sure. So I can go and I can be a balloonist, a lunatic for a week, and not worry about getting fired from the job. It's so amazing, you know. A lot of people they always say, "Oh, go get a real job," and I'm just like, I'm trying to have a real experience here. Like, if your life is all about working and getting a job, and that's what makes you who you are, I feel very sad for you. I'm a garbage man. I clean. I'm a fireplace sweeper. You can see me in Mary Poppins. The chimney sweep, huh? Like, yeah, that's what I'm known for. All right, Mr. Mary Poppins. So yeah, you can either work for a living, or you can experience life for a living. I choose that one. I try to teach. I've been teaching my daughter, who's 11 now. Amazing. I've been teaching her. It's not about what you want to be when you grow up. It's what do you want to be as you grow up. What do you want to do while you're growing up? What do you want to do right now, today? What do you want to, like, you can, if you want to be successful as a career-minded individual, and you want to be the best you want to be the best employee, I'm going to say the best kiss asser that you can possibly be, so you don't lose your job. Yes, sir, master, sir. Whenever you like, sir. You want me to come in an hour early tomorrow? Yes, sir, master. I will do that overtime hours for you. Yes, sir, master. So yeah, a lot of people, they don't realize how they've enslaved themselves to these 9 to 5 jobs, not allowing themselves to have these beautiful experiences that some of us get to experience. All right, we're going to change up that dark blue, and we're going to go with the more of like a, what would you call that? I'd call it a peacock, turquoise. With those, what, turquoise and orange and some turquoise and white. Always adding white with colors is always a good thing. Very complimentary. And you just want to go down just that 1 inch. I don't want to use too much there. Don't need to make them too big. All right, so as you can see, even with these generic ones, they still take a little bit of time, right? We're 43 minutes live here, but I know that I've spent like 20 minutes talking, just blabbing away. And over here, I have no idea how long we've been going, but we'll just keep on going there. On YouTube, we may cut this to just an hour or 2, hour and a half. That way we can keep these videos watchable. And then I can always go live again. We'll just keep them at like a 1 hour sessions, so someone doesn't have to sit there for like 2 hours at a time if they want to watch the whole thing, But there are some balloons, like the other day I went live and there was one balloon. It took an hour and 22 minutes to complete it from beginning to end. And that's also including like the whole selection process of the colors, getting the colors prepared and pulled out and all stretched out and ready to go. So doing that, the whole process, that's an hour and 22 minutes to make one balloon. But then, once I have the colors picked out and I know like how they're going to be laid in what order and things like that, then I can go and sorry, I was thinking about something else and I just got sidetracked. What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. I started thinking about an event. I told a friend yesterday that I was going to go to the event, and I feel bad because we didn't go. And it was just right down the street too. We could have easily gone to just check it out and to show our support, and then take our kids to go and enjoy it a little bit. But our 4-year-old was sick all day, so I was actually here all day taking care of him, making him tea, trying to get him to have a little bit, get rid of his congestion and things like that. We lost the broadcast on Facebook for some reason. I don't know. We live right here next to the Kirtland Air Force Base, so our signal, and it's not the best here. You know, we use Metro PCS for our phone plan, which is literally like 1,000 yards away. It's like a football field distance away, and yet our signal is crap here. We don't have a good signal. You know, but one thing that they do have is a portable Wi-Fi unit, which they say, oh, you might be able to use this to then boost your signal up or something because it runs on a different system. But what I like about that is I believe it's a portable Wi-Fi unit, so then you can take it with you anywhere. But it's like $50 a month. But that would be cool to have that. You have your Wi-Fi signal right in your pocket. Always walking. All right, so now that we've ballooned this out a little bit, we're going to add our... So on a balloon, you have your panels and then you have your columns. Right now, I'm basically like creating what looks like the columns of the balloon. So then you get the ripple effect. You know, when a hot air balloon is blown up, it looks like it's all rippled. You know, you get that cool little ripple effect there. So then we just melt all that down, but not all the way. You don't want to sink it down and lose that texture. So there's a specific way on how I have to melt it all down and everything and then get it to bulb out. So now you can see that the sun is barely coming up. And you can see we have cloud coverage, right? So Dawn Patrol went up. I don't know if any other balloons are going up this day. I believe this day only Dawn Patrol went up, and then we went chasing. I think I stayed around that day for some reason. I don't know why I didn't go chasing, except for the fact that we have an amazing team, and they can, you know, they don't always need me there. So I probably just stuck around to film. Maybe I was filming and they left me and I got left behind. Because I know there was one day when I was, I don't know, I got sidetracked talking with someone. I go look for them and they're gone already. I'm like, oh well, they got it. They got enough crew members. They're good. So then I just have to hang out and wait for them to come back onto the field so then I can join up with my crew again. So if you ever want to experience what it's like to like see a crew work or be part of a crew, if we have the room and we need more hands on deck, we may possibly ask you to come and join us for the morning. It is quite possible. You don't need much experience. If you can follow simple directions, and if you can stop doing something, we say, hey, put that down, or stop, don't do that, please. It's going to damage something. You know, if you can just follow simple direction like that, Like, hey, do you think you can grab that line right there, bring it to me? Hey, you think you can hold the crowd back a little? You know, simple things. You know, we'll get people who just they'll drive up to us, right? That's how I actually got started chasing balloons. My dad used to take us out and chase balloons in the morning. They'd be up in the sky, and it would cost way too much to take the whole family out to the balloon fiesta. You know, back then it was probably only like $7 a pop, and that was still way too expensive or whatever. Now it's like $15 to get in, plus like $20 parking, and like it's crazy how much it costs to experience it. That's why crewing every year, you get to be on the field every day of balloon fiesta, rain or shine. You're there. You're ready to go. And then you get to experience some amazing stuff. You get to meet other pilots and crew members, especially if you're hanging out with Rick Jones. You know, I'm Rick Jones and I know everyone. It's hard to keep up with this man. Like, oh my God. Like, I thought I was something special because I'm a musician and I blow glass and I'm a crew member on a balloon team. And then you look at the lifestyle that our pilot lives, and it's like, oh, I'm a nobody compared to you, man. Yeah. So it's amazing to work with such an amazing crew, you know, to be on such an amazing team of individuals. Got to give a shout out to our team crew captain, Colleen, always holding it down, always helping me out with rides. I might need help again this year. I'm really hoping that I can get our vehicle going or getting this new one before Balloon Fiesta. That's my goal. Try to get this vehicle this week, if possible, so I can have it for next week and be ready to go. Because what's today? Is today actually the first? No, it's not. Oh, we still got 2 weeks. Wow, okay. So this week and a week and a half, if I can make things happen, I think we're going to have a new vehicle soon, and I'll be able to drive myself to meet everyone. That'd be awesome. But also my friend who invited me out the very first year to be part of the crew, he's not too far away, and he may be willing to come and roll over this way to get me. Although he's not that far, I am also willing to ride my bike over to him and get over to him before he has to leave. So either way, it's cool. That just reminded me of something. Last week on Monday, I think I had told the balloon crew I was going to try to come and help out. They have what balloon was it? Was it the Hugging Doves? Or was it the Hugging Bears? I don't know. It was a special shaped balloon, and they're really large. The special shapes are extremely large. They need a lot more crew members than we need. And they needed help. They were going to do like an annual inspection or something. So they invited people out from the community to go. I think it was last Monday, and if not, then it's this coming Monday. Oh, got some information coming through the wires here. Something about Lahaina and the buses. I've been following a lot of stuff lately. But we're going to keep this on the balloon subject today. So we're still chasing right now. So as you can see, oh, well, I'm not chasing. I'm actually walking around the Rainbow Riders. And all those individuals paid good money to fly that day, and then they got rained out. I don't know how you do a rain check during Balloon Fiesta, because they're scheduled out to fly like maybe even a couple times a day. You know, where they land and they pick up a whole nother group of people to fly, and they go up again for a second time. They bring in a lot of money during Balloon Fiesta week, and I hear that flights are like from $300 to $800 to fly from out of the park in the balloon rider. Where, oh, this is when my friend's balloon was on the news, and this individual, I forget his name, I don't want to mess it up, but he is the owner of Rainbow Riders. He was actually just honored as having, like, I don't know, what was it, one of the top like 10 or 20, 50 places to go on TripAdvisor or on, I don't know what it was, something like that. Out of like millions and millions of places, he was like on the top rank. Balloon riders, catching a hot air balloon ride. So yeah, so it's really cool to be able to like be on the field to capture these sort of moments, you know. And at the same time, while I'm walking around, watch, I'm actually showing off my my balloons, my glass balloons. So it is what it is. I got to network when I can. Let me see if I can tilt my torch down a little bit. It won't be so much in your sight there. All right, so we're just going to continue making stuff here. So apparently I'm not chasing. I stayed on the field this day, and I think we'll probably watch a bunch of balloons get inflated. Now, the sad part about this is they had a lot of city delegates that were about to go up in their balloon that day. And for some reason, the winds had shifted on everyone. So in the morning time, you know, before the sun comes up, the winds may be going one way. So we were all probably laid out with the southward wind, right? And then the sun comes up and it moves all the thermals around in the air and stuff, right? Changes directions of wind. And I believe the wind shifted to the north at this point. So when you try to inflate against the wind, it starts pushing the balloon onto itself, and it starts pushing it towards the fire. So I actually catch my friend's balloon almost catching fire, guys. That's a scary thing right here. Like, oh shit, no one's paying attention to the burner over here, and it's about to light up. And that's the other thing too, is you get to actually see how resilient the balloons are. You know, you can see the torch right on it, and it doesn't just like catch and like all go up in flames, you know. So that shows you that, you know, some of these like accidents that occur, like, wow, how did that happen? How did it catch fire? How did this or that occur, you know? Because a lot of the material is all flame retardant. It's all, you know, has to meet special requirements and things. But yeah, it is flammable. Eventually, I guess. So after this interview, that's when they start to inflate it, and I may actually even talk to my pilot for a minute, but I think he's busy right now. And then I probably show the news reporter there, maybe even the cameraman. I show them, and I think I get, yeah, this individual right here, I get that cameraman to film my glass balloon. So there's people who got footage of my glass balloons from Balloon Fiesta from the 50th anniversary, and they don't even know that I just won a best of show for those balloons. So hopefully this year I'll get interviewed by some local news companies, stations, and especially KOB4. KOB4 are the ones who sponsored the ribbons for the best of show, for first place, second place, third place, for all of the art entries. So KLB4, I would love to have an interview with you guys, and we can talk about the balloons. Also, if I am not mistaken, I believe KLB4 is also home of Steve Stucker. I hope I'm not mistaken there. And Steve Stucker, he's like pretty famous as being the balloon guy with all the balloon pins. He walks around. He's got the white scientist coat on, and it's all covered in these cool balloons. And that thing weighs like, I don't know what he said, it weighs like 100 pounds or something. So he walks around with this 100-pound jacket. And last year he was taking it off a lot. He was putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off. I could imagine, just the weight of that. But he actually honored me with a interview live on air. I don't know if it was this morning, but it was one of the mornings when I was just kind of walking around and spending time by myself and didn't go chase. Or maybe I did actually. I probably did the interview before, and I was like, all right, well, I got to kind of hurry back to our balloon now because we're crewing, I'm crewing. And so I had to run after that interview. But I thank you so much, Steve Stucker, for giving me that opportunity to talk about glass balloons on your morning show with the balloons and with the weather reporting and everything you do there. Thank you so much. I do hope to see you out this year. I know that you retired last year from your being a news anchor, news reporter, but I also know that you're not going to be able to stay away from balloon field. You're a balloonatic just like we are. I know that already. So yeah, I hope to actually run into Steve Stucker and thank him for that interview and let him know. I'd love to show him the ribbon. And that's the one thing, is like, I want to show these ribbons off, but while we're crewing, I'm worried they're going to get smashed in the van. I'm going to have to like create a special box or something for them so they don't get smashed and all crushed. Also, last year, there was an opportunity when my daughter and I got to watch our governor of New Mexico, who's been under some severe heat recently because of her attack on the Second Amendment and the Constitution. But we were actually able to see her launch from the New Mexico Zia balloon, and she was wearing these Ray-Ban glasses that were actually recording. So I would love to see the footage of that one day. I don't know if they're ever going to release that or not. But I was able to gift her one of the Spirit balloons. I let her know what I made it for and everything. And I showed her the original 13 hot air balloons from 1972 made in glass, my collection. I was carrying it there that day. And so I was able to show it off. Man, I keep missing. The spacing is not working out for me today. So some of these, they have 8. They should have only 8. But I may have to add a couple more in here to make 9. I'm not spacing them right this morning. For some reason, I don't know, my eyesight's off. Like, I don't know what else it is. It's not my hand-eye coordination. I'm just not lining it up straight. Maybe I'm talking too much. Oh, I see Colette Katz here. You found me on Ride Along Gang. What's going on, Colette? Thank you so much for tuning in. I did see you were asking about the glass, and you love glass. And, the Ride Along Gang, I started following him during the whole, the People's Convoy, the U.S. Convoy, where all the truckers went. And they were driving to Washington, D.C. And I actually went out. I got footage of that when they were driving through Albuquerque. We had one of the biggest turnouts for them here on the bridge at Louisiana and I-40 right there. And that's actually right up the street from me. I live right off Louisiana Boulevard. And so I was able to get up there and get some cool shots of it all as it was going down, and then caught the while everyone was setting up and everyone was doing their own little protests and their own videos and all this stuff. And then the trucks finally came in, and then I was able to capture all that on film as well. So yeah, thank you so much, Colette. I do appreciate you coming in and watching. So right now I'm working on these here. These are just a very basic, very simple hot air balloon that's got, this is a turquoise with orange. So it should have some really nice complementary colors here. And these are my generic balloons that I sell for only $20. They're all handmade, one of a kind. So you're getting the actual original artwork when you're making this. None of these are actually made by a mold and replicated in any way besides by hand. So that's the beauty of my artwork here, is the fact that you get the original piece, and I keep it super affordable for you. So at only $20, you get to have this piece that I'm making live right now on the air on YouTube and Facebook. We're live right now on both. And as you can see, you may be the only person here commenting and talking. So I appreciate you so much for doing so and engaging here. And as you can see, I'm small time. I still barely have a small following here of less than 800. We're working towards that 800 number. So I do believe you subscribe. Please share out. Maybe others will subscribe as well. Maybe we can get more from the ride-along game to come along and hang out. And after we ride along, then maybe I can just like plan on doing a scheduled demo. Like, all right, let's now do from a ride-along to I don't know what you call it, come along with me and watch me make this stuff. All right, so right now I'm just working on the loop here that we can then attach this as a necklace. So that's what these are made for, but these can hang in your rear view mirror. You know, if you're a trucker and you need something in your rear view mirror. I don't know if that's legal actually for truckers to have anything in the rear view mirror. But you know, if you're one of those individuals who like to keep stuff in your mirror, this is a real beautiful thing to have. You know, I would be very careful not to slam your brakes because it's glass and it's a harder glass than what your windshield's made out of. And it can potentially crack your windshield. So don't slam on your brakes unless you may be avoiding an accident. At that point, you know, it may be all right to avoid an accident and have a cracked windshield. Save your life. So yes, thank you so much for tuning in and watching, Colette. Appreciate it. We got several people on Facebook watching, but when it comes to the YouTube algorithm, I'm still slowly working on it. And it does help when you have when you are subscribed and you get the notification bell, right? Because then that means you've probably seen the notification. I was live this morning, and were able to come and see me. I was trying to keep this at under an hour. We're at now an hour and 9 minutes in. So maybe we'll just keep this at under an hour and a half. And then I'll probably just cut the feed. I might go live again. It's only 7:37. Hey, 37, it's everywhere. That's so awesome. The one few times that I ever check the time always seems to land on 37, which means for me, that means that I'm right on time. Everything is flowing as it should right now. Things are good. So maybe I'll, and is it 7:37? I'm all the clocks in here are different. What's up, Gary? Good morning. See, you're watching as well, brother. Hey, I was gonna actually show my oldest child the Maze Runner movie. I don't know. Wait, we weren't. I don't know if we were in that one. No, we were in Sicario, right? The Soldado. I'm trying to think. Were we in that? Did you ever do that movie, Maze Runner, Scorch Trials? I think maybe it was just that other one, Soldado, Sicario, right? When you got that speaking line. Woo, that's awesome. So yeah, I'm talking to my friend over here on Facebook right now. We're on YouTube Live as well, Gary. And we've known each other from working on set, doing film and things like that. And he's a really cool guy. He's also runs ABQ drive shaft. So if you ever need any repairs done with your drive shaft on your vehicle, hit up ABQ drive shaft. Is that what it is? Albuquerque drive shaft. Sicario 2, that's right. What was it? Day of the Soldado or something like that. So, yeah, for some reason I was thinking you were with us on Scorch Trials, but you weren't. I was going to say that I was going to show my daughters, now 11, those movies. So then, because I'm always talking about that scene that I was in, I ended up falling asleep during the take. And so, but it's funny because, well, that kind of makes it realistic. Everyone's running out when the helicopter comes to blow up the building there in Scorch Trials, and they play some music. And when that music starts playing, that was our cue to wake up. Well, to get up. We were supposed to pretend we were sleeping. So it was to wake up and then run and go, right? I actually fell asleep. They were filming from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And it was a long night. Several takes already on that point. And that was like the second or third scene that I was in for that film. So, yeah, it was a long night. I actually fell asleep on one of the takes. I remember they all ran to safety, and I got blown up in the building. So I tell my daughter that. Now, oh, that's the movie where I get blown up in the building. And she's like, what? Here, since we're talking about movies, check this out. I don't know if you got this. Do you have any of these? This is the not legal tender. It says that this note, I can't even read the words here. Oh my gosh, my eyes are so bad. I can't even read this anymore. It says that this is made for motion pictures. These are movie dollars. I accidentally walked away one time with these in my my upper pocket. You know how sometimes you're supposed to take out money and pay a bartender or something like that for background scenes, and I accidentally forgot it was in my pocket. So now I got Monopoly money, real Monopoly money from the movies. I have a license plate up here too that I accidentally drove off with. I forgot it was on the vehicle. I swear. They cut the scene. And they're like, all right, why don't you go and get yourself something to eat. Go get checked out. Get yourself something to eat. And you're good for the day. You can just go home. Like, all right, cool. Drove over there. Got checked out. Went to the lunch wagon. Got myself some food. And then I drove off. Went home. I get home. And my roommate's all, oh, wow, you got a new license plate? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I drove off with a complete, I don't know if you'd call it a counterfeit. It was a movie prop. It's not even a real place in the world. It's called Stanistan. I don't know if you were on that movie, Stanistan. Man, I accidentally drove off with their license plate. But now it's cool because now I have a license plate from Stanistan. So if the country ever becomes something, well, now I just need to register my plate. I'll have the first plate in history. Oops. Oh man, I just accidentally dotted that. We had to draw right on top of there. So now I'm still just following the balloons. We're just walking around during Balloon Fiesta last year. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. I don't know if we have gotten past the part where my friend's balloon almost caught fire. This could be where, actually, yeah, they're trying to like save it. The burner's on. Like you got to remember, they have a pilot light that's always on. So then when they hit the flame, it can always just boom, boom, just make a nice huge flame. So they're trying to save his balloon right now. This is crazy. And I'm watching it like, oh my God, I can't touch it because I'm not part of his crew. So I can't touch it. I don't know what they want to do or have done or whatever, but this is the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center balloon. It's a beautiful balloon. It's one of the only balloons that doesn't look the same from Rainbow Rider. All the other ones are like yellow with rainbow color on it. We call them Rainbow Rider. And he's the only Rainbow Rider balloon that the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center sponsored. And his balloon is almost catching fire right now. And the news is watching. And all these city delegates are there. But like I said, the wind started pushing to the north when everyone was set up to go south. And you can see all the other Rainbow Rider balloons are up. I think had they not done the interview, they would have, because the interview delayed the process of inflating and everything, and he didn't have all hands on deck that he needed. And I think because of that interview, that's what messed up this day. They never got the balloon up in the air. Oh, nice. You were in Stanistan too. So I was actually in Stanistan. We filmed up there at the Santa Fe, the old court building. I don't know if you were on that scene or not, or wherever the white tent scene was. Maybe they set that up outside that area because they had a couple different scenes set up out there. And so I got to walk into the what was known as the U.S. Embassy of Stanistan, right? That building there, and they had me be an animal handler. While we were in holding, they were like, hey, are there any of you guys who are comfortable with working with animals? And I raised my hand like, sure. I don't know what I'm about to get into, but sure. This could be a pay bump, right? I get more money for this, right? So I'm like, sure, let's go see what's up. So like, I don't know, 7 of us go out there, follow the AD, the assistant director, or whoever, personal assistant, whoever it is that's running us to wherever we need to go. And we go outside, right? And there's like 7 of us, like, all right, you guys. So we want to see which one of you guys are more comfortable with carrying around this goat. Like, what? Okay. They're like, yeah, so we're going to have you guys all hold the goat and handle the goat right here. I've never held a goat before. I've never handled a goat before, ever in my life at that point. And they're like, yeah, so we're going to just have you walk around with the goat. We're going to have you lift up this goat and carry it, and with all 4 legs in your arms. And we want to actually have you lift up the goat over your shoulders and carry it over your shoulders. We got 2 feet here, the 2 front legs there, 2 back legs there. You got the goat head like over you. I was like, these are $20 right here. The one that I'm working on right now, it's going to be orange and blue spiral. It's going to look like that there. Kind of turquoise or peacock color. So these ones are the simple ones that I make for only $20. Kind of look like this at the end of the day. That one's like purple, red, orange. And this one here will have that turquoise and orange, like a crayon orange, bright orange. So yeah, like I said, these are awesome to, you get to watch it being made. And these are all that I'm making. They're all going to a wholesale account. But if you catch me before I get it to the wholesale account, then you can get this one specifically, the one that I'm making, the one that's in film right here, right now, for only $20 plus shipping. But you're here local, so we don't got to worry about that. It'd be nice to come up and visit you. Actually, I can head up that way if you're still in the heights up there, foothills or something. I don't like. Where were you at? Don't even remember. I think I went there one time with our friend Colin. Remember? We all hung out. So yeah, I got to hold the goat, and then they were saying, okay, so we want to see you guys how comfortable you are with carrying the goat and everything, right? But then we're gonna have the director come over, and he's gonna see you guys handle it individually. He's gonna check out your look, you know, your wardrobe, your appearance, what you look like, if you're what he wants in front of the camera while holding a goat. So they chose me. I got to be the goat boy. That's what I call myself. I don't know what they called me in that scene, but I was the goat boy. All right, goat boy. Nah. So what was funny though is as we're filming the scene, you know, I don't know how many takes we were taking or how many takes we did. I basically had to pick up the goat and then try to walk it through the doors of the U.S. Embassy, and then the security guard stops and he says stop or whatever he says, and then I'm supposed to like just say in some sort of Arabic like, no, please let me and my goat in. I have to get to the U.S. Embassy. Me and my goat. And like I had to like speak in some kind of weird way, right? And they never had the camera on me. The camera was always focused in on the goat. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Edgewood Mountain Retreat. You know, my wife is actually from Edgewood, went to Moriarty High. Was the Pintos. And what's funny is she was known as Serena Bina, the Pinto Bina. She was a Pinto Bina, Serena Bina. I was actually out there recently doing some yard work for someone. A friend of mine sells honey. Actually, if you need honey, my friend Dar, she can hook you up with some local honey from the backside of the mountain back there. It's good. We get $20 bottles all the time from her. The big, like pint size bottle or 2 pint quart. What is it? Are they quarts? Do I have a bottle that size here? Not like that. Almost this size though. It's almost this size. I'd say like to that. You know, it's those big bottles for $20. I can hook you up with her number. She's always there, set up at like the. I think there's a place where they do like food giveaways and stuff on the weekends or something like that, where people can go to like the clothing bank and they get, you know, you get free food and free clothes. The food bank. So I think she sets up there every week or every few times a week. I don't know. I'll get you her number. But cool to know you're out that way. Beautiful out there. We've actually thought about moving out that way, but the one thing holding me back has just been my child and sharing custody with my child and her mother. And her mother's a teacher and has her enrolled in the school that she works at. And that would be difficult for me to get her back and forth on school days. So we're kind of holding out. You know, maybe maybe when my child hits high school years, then I'll start looking again out that way and see what we can acquire. Maybe we can just start looking now, right? Try to find something. Hopefully the market will crash soon or do something to drop prices down. And hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping it'll crash so we can get into something. But, there's a lot of people who've invested in property, and that's not going to be good. Yeah, it's a great price for local honey. You're right. It's amazing. Good morning, Lauren. I see that you're watching as well. So we were talking about balloons. We're now on another video here. So we've gone through the hour and a half. This is now our balloon, Polar Dawn, right here on screen. Every morning during Balloon Fiesta, I will be live. I will try to be live. They may need me. I may have to be holding the balloon while it's getting inflated, and I'm sitting in front of the flame. And it's like ah! It's so crazy to hold the mouth of the balloon open, and then he's got a bigger burner than me, and he hits that torch. It's like, oh my god. It's nice and warm though. Toasty. I should hang a piece of bread. That'd be great. I'm gonna hang a piece of bread on each side like a necklace. Just hook it around my neck, and I'm gonna wear bread, and I'm gonna see if that bread gets toasted by the flame when I'm holding it open. Now, I don't know if my pilot's gonna be okay with this. He may be like, don't you dare drop that toast on my balloon. Don't you dare allow that toast to get blown by the fan into the balloon. I don't want to have toast falling from the sky on me when the balloon comes up. I come up with some crazy stuff. And then he's like, please don't. I've been in trouble several times with our pilot, doing things I shouldn't do because I didn't know. I'm like, oh, oops. One year I dropped a glass balloon as we were taking off. So it wasn't like we were way thousands of feet up in the sky or anything. We were just taking off, only like 10 or 20 feet up in the sky. And I had one of these on a necklace with one of our balloon cards. And I just like dropped it towards the crowd. And he was like, did you just drop something from the basket? I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. So don't you ever do that again. You can cause an issue with the crowd coming in, running in as we are taking off, and that could cause some issues with takeoff tomorrow. Like, oh my God, I didn't think about that. I'm so sorry. I won't do that ever again. So now if I ever give away anything, it's before we take off. I can't drop anything from the balloon. I know this, Rick. Even if it's just a paper, just a card, a balloon card like this here, just something flimsy that just floats like a feather. Like, nope, can't even drop that from the sky. My cause issues. I get it. I totally get it. We're doing something that's phenomenal in a way that there are thousands of people out there. We do have to really consider the safety of everyone. We're there to put on a show. I am talent at that point, so I have to respect the rules and not do those things. No more getting in trouble. Now we'll just throw them from the chase stand. Here you go, there you go. Oh, so now we got someone talking about the balloon. Oh, you know what? This isn't even my video. This is someone else's video, and they somehow featured our balloon in the background and other balloons and stuff. So yeah, this is just what Balloon Fiesta is all about. It's cool to be able to get out there on the field and watch everything. If you've never done it once in your life, I would highly recommend doing it one time and then watching it from your living room, all comfortable and cozy on your couch with affordable snacks. You can always go online and order all of your merchandise from balloonfiesta.com or whatever their website is. You will have to pay shipping. Shipping will cost as much as it costs to park there, but then you got to pay to get in too. So it might be cheaper to just shop online and watch from the comfort of your own home. That's from experience. That's from someone who's going to be out there every day. Because, yeah, it gets crazy. But it's so exciting too. I mean, to be a part of a live event, you know, you're going in and out of, the back door, backstage. It's so much fun. A lot of fun. Good experience. All right. And Gary, if you're still watching, which I don't know if you are or not, I see people come in and go all the time on my live feed. And so if you guys don't stay continuously engaged, if you don't say hi and goodbye, I never know when you leave. And if you never say goodbye, but you always say hi, then I'll know that maybe you got booted off my live feed. Because Facebook doesn't like me. I speak too many truths. And they tend to kind of shadow ban me and not allow me to get out there so much and not allow you guys to be on my live feed as long as you'd like to. So let me know, whenever you come here live, do you leave on your own without saying bye? And that's fine. You don't have to say bye. I'm just saying if you do let me know, then I kind of will know whether or not you're leaving on your own or are people actually still getting booted off. Because I used to get hundreds of viewers, and now people come in and there's like 1 or 2 viewers and it drops to 0. Then 1 or 2 viewers and it drops to 0. Then 1 or 2 and it drops to 0. It's like, are people really just coming in for like a split second and then leaving right away? Or are people getting booted out of my live feed? On YouTube and on Facebook, mostly Facebook. But I'm wondering on YouTube too, because I see people come and go. Like, there's one person watching, there's no one commenting though. And that's fine. You don't have to always stay engaged. I'm just saying that for a creator, it's really hard to know when you're here and when you're not. And it's hard to know if the algorithms are kicking people off or if it's just happening just because. So yeah, I don't know if Gary's still here. Still here, all right. See, it shows that I have 1 watcher, but yet it shows another person just came in. Paul's now watching. So good morning, Paul. So it looks like there's 3 of you watching, at least, when it shows I only have 1. And I've been told, don't pay attention to that. That doesn't matter. You could have all kinds of people watching, and it's just going to show you only have 1 or 3, which is supposed to be a discouragement for creators. If people have an ego and they're like, oh, I only got 1 person watching, it's like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You're all good. You're creating the content just because you want to be a creator. Unless the whole reason, your whole goal is just for the end result. Like all you want is 1 million viewers or all you want is a few likes or whatever. Then that's always going to make you so depressed and sad. It's like on Wreck-It Ralph. It says never read the comment section, right? It's like, yeah, no, I like to read it. I like to engage with people, especially with trolls. It's fun to me. I need some entertainment in my life sometimes, Sitting here alone, talking to myself all day. Sometimes I need to just hang out with some trolls. Have some troll breakfast. Little trollios for breakfast, Tasty trolls. They're great. So yeah, trolls are fun because they actually engage. They actually help out the algorithm. So when I create, whether you're watching or not, I'm going to just be talking as though there's like 1,000 people watching me, When I perform music, You know, whether I'm performing for myself in the living room or for thousands of people out in the crowd, I'm still just performing the way I would perform for anyone, you know? Whether it has 1,000 or a million or what or zero, it doesn't matter. And also I know that a lot of people won't have the notification to come in and watch live, but they'll get it in a day or two. And imagine if you just sat here and you're like, oh, I only got one person watching. And so you don't even engage with them because they're not engaging with you. So then your whole video playback is so boring. You're not giving anyone any content. You're not sharing anything. And they know that all you are is ego driven and you're all about your views. And then they don't even watch you ever again at that point. Okay, I get it. So I create the content. Like my whole saying since I was working at Spaceport is create the content that's being shared. Don't just share out stuff over and over and over. Create it. Create the content being shared. Oh, thank you for letting me know, Colette. So the difference between glass and crystal would be like the difference between like watercolors versus pastels versus crayons versus acrylic versus oils. You know, to me, they're all canvas artists, right? They're all, you know, like, oh, there's a whole bunch of glass blowers, right? Well, we all don't do the same thing. Some glass blowers aren't lamp workers. Some glass blowers don't work on a lamp or a torch. This is lamp working. This isn't a furnace work. This isn't offhand work with the tubes going into the glory holes and the furnaces. This is a whole different process. You know, it'd be like you got an acrylic painter who uses paintbrushes, but then you got someone who's a henna artist and they're like, oh, let me put my acrylic paints into the henna cones and squeeze them out like a henna design on it so it's lifted up and all three-dimensional details. And it's still an acrylic painting, but it's completely different in style, right? And the way it's delivered. There's 4 down, sacred 4 right there. Oh, sorry, Gary. I want to make sure. Okay, I know where that one is. I got to keep track of where that one is. Because if you seriously want that one, it's yours for $20. And I'll go and, oh wait, I was saying I'll go deliver it. I don't have a vehicle these days. So if you're in town, let me know. I live right by the fairground. Just come on by someday. We'll have a little green session here. So yeah, the difference between the glass that I use compared to glass that they use soft glass in the furnaces. I don't even know what the composite, what it's made from or whatever, but the glass that we use is known as borosilicate. It means it has boron mixed in with silica, an extreme like high amount of mixture, I guess, in order to create the heat, the temperance of it. So this is the most heat tempered glass available. This kind of glass, you can take it from a cold stage, put it directly into the flame. It doesn't boom, blow up in your face. Now, if I took this same jar right here and I put this in the flame and went like that, boom, this whole thing would shatter. I'd have cuts all over my hand and stuff. Like, that'd be dangerous. So you can't just put any sort of glass into this. Now, the other difference is that, okay, like some artists, they need certain things, like acrylic painters will need like just a jar of water usually, right? Whereas oil painters, they need like some turpentine and you know, to mix their oils or different oils. Some people used to use hemp seed oil way back in the day when they painted the Sistine Chapel, you know, and all the old frescoes that are on the inside of those chapels, you know. And I used to be an artist of many mediums, so I know a lot of different art. I used to work in acrylic. I used to love color pencil. I used to dabble a tiny bit in oil. I used to love charcoal, black and white, and pastel. Not so much pastel. I like the charcoal, black and white better. And I loved acrylic paint. I was more of an abstract artist than anything. I never did realism. And then when I learned how to blow glass in 1995, all of that just went away. I quit drawing, I quit painting, I quit doing all kinds of stuff because as an artist, the glass sold itself. So I've never really known what it's like to be a starving artist. I have to say, I followed this because it sold itself, and I also fell in love with it because I like fire. Not gonna lie, I'm a pyro at heart, but I've never caused. I'm not an arsonist. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. I'm a pyro. I like to play with fireworks and play with fire and play with magnifying glasses and things like that. I've always been a pyro my whole life, right? Even one of my favorite bands, Porno for Pyros, right? Jane's Addiction guys mixed in with was that Stone Temple Pilot? I don't remember now. But yeah, Porno for Pyros. Yeah. So I'm a pyro. I'm a professional pyro. I work with fire every day in a very highly volatile situation. This is exciting compared to painting with oil and acrylic and all the different things like that. You know, getting your fingers all black and dirty with charcoal because you're trying to mix it and shadow shade it, whatever you're doing. All right, so this is another one of the exact same color and everything. Right on, it's sold. That's yours, brother. You got it. I'm gonna keep it to the side for you. That one specifically, but if I have all of them on me, if we meet up soon enough before I drop off all these other ones to my my wholesale account, I have a friend who's gonna be selling them at El Pinto during the balloon fiesta. So if you don't find me and all these, you can go to El Pinto. I can't guarantee his price is going to be the same as mine though. But that one is yours. You got it, Gary. Thank you so much for your support, brother. Appreciate it. See, that's the other thing too. As an artist, if I've ever come close to being a starving artist, there have been times that I have been evicted from homes, had to sell everything because I didn't have the money. I'm not rich by no means at all. I mean, I can say, oh yeah, I make between $20 to $100 an hour when I'm working. Yeah, if I'm working, when I have the time to work. Most of the time, most of my time goes to taking care of my family. I dedicate all my time to my wife and children, pretty much. This right here is dedicating my life to my family and children. So I can make all this amazing, beautiful glass that I know will sell. All of it is gone, sold. Everything I make, I never waste time anymore these days. The 28 years of experience I've been on the torch since 1995, I've learned what sells and what doesn't. I've learned if I'm going to make this, I know I'm going to sit on it for about a year or two before it's sold. I have pieces of glass that I'm still sitting on since last Christmas, 2 Christmases ago. All these things, because I try to make something I'm like, oh, well, that's seasonal or whatever. Like, no, if I just stick with the things that I love to make, that I know will sell, then I don't have to starve. But there have been times when recently, I've had, 6 individuals now who passed away on me. 6 individuals, if not more, that I haven't heard of yet. And I took about a month and a half off to grieve. It just kept hitting me, one more after another, after another. Right now, I have a really good friend. I consider him my brother in the hospital right now. ICU, praying for him every day. And I just gotta keep on going. The show must go on. But for a while there, I had to take a break. And I don't know anyone who can afford to take a month and a half off, and then just know that you're going to get by the grace of God. Because it's not like you have a bunch of money coming in or anything, you know. But somehow you just have the faith in God knowing you're going to get through it. You're going to get through it because he's putting you through this right now, all the grievance and all of it. You know, God's the one who took their souls back, right? You got to remember that. God's the one who took them from you because their souls needed to return back to God. And so, yeah, like who can afford to take a month and a half off and then still be okay? You know, that's a hard thing to do. And sometimes it's necessary for us artists. For me, I personally don't want to throw that energy into y'all's work. I'm not making this for me. I'm making this for y'all. So why would I want to put any sort of like sadness or grievance or depression or anything? I prefer to work when I'm extremely happy, when I'm at peace with everything, when life is good, when I'm not stressed out about, oh my gosh, we need this or we need that. You know, how's it going to be for my wife today? Like, I don't like to put any of that stress into anything, you know? And that's one of the reasons also why I'm known for making these here, which is memorial glass, where I actually take individuals' cremains. People actually entrust me with their cremains, and then I can do this. I can put them into glass, embed them permanently to where you can wear them close to your heart. You can keep them close, hang them in your car, hang them in on your mirror in your bedroom, wherever you want to keep them. You can keep them with you, and people entrust me with the cremains of their loved ones. You know, I still have some here from, like, I'm not gonna lie, before the whole pandemic, and we lost track of each other. I'm still keeping them safe. I still need to finish up the few that I was like, I even forgot because it was so long. I forgot how many were ordered and how many I'm supposed to make. So I can't make more than what they ordered, right? Because what am I supposed to do with the extras? I can't just keep them and sell them to anyone else. You know, it's a sacred item, right? So, and hello, I see Nathan's also watching. Good morning. And so, yeah, you know, being able to do those kind of things, it's a beautiful thing. And to be able to have that connection with God, to know that I have full faith in God, and knowing that, yeah, there may be a time when I have to take a month off or two or whatever, and just in full faith in God, we'll be okay. Everything is going to be all right, right? Just like Bob Marley says, every little thing gonna be all right. They don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright, alright. Rise up this morning, smile at the rising sun. Three little birds perched on my doorstep, singing sweet songs. Melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. You gotta listen to those messages from God. Sometimes it comes from that little bird who once told you so. You know, God comes in many forms to us, manifests in many ways to reveal the answers we seek. Sometimes it can come from enemies, because even your enemies can be your best friends, and your best friends your worst enemies, right? Just like Bob Marley sings of some will eat and drink with you, then behind they look upon you. Only your friend know your secret. So only he can reveal it. Bob Marley, man, he's a prophet. He sung words. You know, the reason why his songs are timeless is because he was a prophet. These songs came through him from God, from Creator, Jah, Rastafari, Hare Krishna. And so when you can connect in that way spiritually with God, and you can become a medium, a channel, a vessel, then these things, they start coming through you, is not from you. And you have to be humble and remember that these words of wisdom may not be your own. What I'm speaking right now may just be me channeling from the higher source above, or wherever you want to, within, like, you know, wherever you see the higher source coming from above, from within, as above, so below, whatever it is, as long as you have that connection, you're good. And I don't know what I was talking about. I guess I was just talking about having faith and knowing that, you know, sometimes starving artists will starve because they don't keep that faith in God, and they don't just always know that the trials and tribulations that you may be placed in at this moment to be a starving artist could be the blessings that you need, a blessing in disguise. I've always had this saying, turn your lessons into blessings. Just put a capital B in front of that capital L in lessons, and you got yourself blessings. I coined that right there. Don't steal it, please. Don't be a thief. But if you want to utilize it, you want to print it on t-shirts and stickers, lessons with a capital B, L, E, S, S, O, N, S, lessons. Just send me like 10%, 10 to 30%. We'll call it a day. I got too many ideas and so much stuff. I got this screen printing press right here behind me. It's been just collecting dust. I wonder if I can actually use the ink there now with the layer of dust that's on it. Maybe we can make some really cool dusty shirts. I don't know. If anything, I'm just gonna mess up the screen. I'm gonna push dirt and mud through it and turn it into clay, and we'll never be able to use the screen again. No, I don't know. It'll be interesting. But yeah, one day soon I'll hope to do some screen printing for you guys too, with all the live glassblowing demos, the live music. Right now I can't play any music for you guys because my guitar is in the repair shop right here next to me. I call this my repair shop. So I'm gonna fix my own guitar. I am my own guitar tech. I have self-taught guitar tech. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, so thank you, YouTube. Appreciate you. You've taught me so much. It's so funny because, you know, during the whole pandemic time, people were like, oh, where'd you get your information from? From YouTube? You know, like trying to consider YouTube a bad thing. It's like, you know, there are people who actually like put their dissertation papers and their reports and all this important information on video, you know, to back up the written parts of it. So yeah, a lot of people get a lot of good information from YouTube. You know, a lot of DIY stuff, how to make this, how to make that, how it's made, do it yourself, how to repair this, how do you cook that. You guys should watch my video from yesterday on YouTube on how I converted a zero water. I'm all about water, right? And I've been researching all the best water filter systems, and zero water keeps coming up, guys. Zero water, although it may be expensive to keep purchasing filters over and over again when you can easily just make a natural filter from sand and rock and biochar and things like that. Well, you can also get 0 water filters, and you can run your water through it. Now, we normally use a Msg mag filtration system that has the ceramic filter on top, which removes all kinds of contaminants and impurities on its own. You know, they're designed to actually clean your tap water, but we're missing the charcoal unit that cleans it and everything. And I found another system that actually works inside the Msg, and it actually has silver embedded in their filtration, so I'd rather get that one anyways. But yesterday I did a hack with the 0 water system. I created something crazy. So I can now use our 0 water filter into our Msg high mag. So now the 0 water is dripping onto the calcium coral rocks, the mineral rocks, that then puts back all the minerals into your water that's been stripped. So our 0 water probably isn't 0 anymore when it hits the calcium coral rocks, but the water coming out of the actual filter is 0 water. It's beautiful, and it's amazing to see a 0 water filter in a Msg Pi Mag filtration system. Oh, and the spout has it's the Pi Mag. I don't know what that means. It's got a magnet within it to help to make make it all alive again. Colette, I like fire. Where do I find your products that are for sale? Okay, so that's an issue, Colette, because you don't live here in Albuquerque. I am a local artist, a local glassblower here. I've basically branded myself out in many ways. I'm known as Gardunio Glass, but I don't have a website for Gardunio. Right? Enjoying the show and knowledge, right on. Thanks, Gary. And so back in the day, I used to just be a wholesale to accounts. You know, I'd take in like $200 to $1,000 worth of glass. The individual shop owner would purchase all of it off of me at a good price, and then they would double or triple in price, right? So then, in recent years, I got involved in the Water is Life movement. Basically, Creator brought this, basically opened the door for me, and I would step through, right? When one door is closed, don't you know, many more is open. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I walked through that door, right? And this was during Standing Rock, in a time when people were fighting for clean drinking water on the res up there, Ocheti Sokoa in North Dakota, on the U.S. In our own lands here. We had military, we had police, law enforcement deployed against our own people. That's basically war upon our own people. All because the people were standing up for their land, sovereign people standing up for land that was given to them federally through treaties. And the treaty is the law of the land. If you guys don't know, a treaty is the law of the land. And so these individuals, they went up to fight for their clean drinking water, and also for the fact that this BS company decided the Dakota Access Pipeline, DAPL, so Dakota Access Pipeline, they decided, we're going to reroute our pipelines from where they were before, previously, where they were fine, away from the res. We're just going to route them right through your guys' res, right through the water, right through your river, and right through your burial ground. Like, ouch. Like, let's not have any consideration for our fellow Americans, right? They've already been displaced and moved off their land, and then here you go, here's a little corner for you to sit in. Go sit in your corner over here on the res. It's gross on what's been going on with the indigenous people here of this land, and how we've taken their land and everything, and continuously doing so, including in Lahaina and all these other places around the world right now with these spontaneous fires. Wildfires. deadliest wildfire in U.S. history, huh? Deadliest means that it has to exceed more than 1,600 to 2,200 fatalities as a total to beat the Peshtigo fire, which wasn't the Great Fire of Chicago, the Great Chicago Fire, which I thought was the number one deadliest fire. No, that was just a really large fire. The Peshtigo fire was actually the deadliest, and it took out 1,600 to 2,200. So if Lahaina fire, if the media is going to consider it to be the deadliest fire in U.S. history, the death toll, you guys just know, without them saying it, is over 1,600 to 2,200. It has to be for those numbers to be real. So just expect that, okay? Coming from me, I'm the first one to report it. The death toll is over 1,600 to 2,200 in Lahaina. That is a land grab. Look up Jump Smart Maui project, and you'll understand a little bit more of what's going on with the smart grid cities that all of us are going to be pushed into right now. The digital currency with the centralized digital banking system, you know, the CBDC, and how they're trying to create the Fed notes into a digital note online, to where, you know, if your bank has an issue and like, oh no, I can't access my money, you'll be screwed, because no one will be accepting any dollars at that point anymore. It'll all be monopoly money. And but people will be accepting gold and silver. Always remember that. Always remember gold and silver, guys. That is God's money right there. That is on the periodic table. Gold, silver, copper, aluminum. There are so many things that are on the periodic table. Federal Reserve notes? No, they're not. So that's not God's money. In God we trust. Yeah, you can try to open a trust, you know, through trust laws, and create your Federal Reserve or whatever, and your U.S. Mint and all that stuff, and create dollars that are. It costs you 40 cents to make the dollar, so by the time it's printed, its only value is actually 60 cents. But no economist is going to tell you that. Even if you follow the economist report or the economist station here on YouTube, and you get all the information that the elite are focusing on, and all the companies that will make them successful if they invest in, and all this stuff. You know, if you're really paying attention, then it's really easy to find the truth hidden within and amongst all the fiction and all the distractions. And I don't know where I'm going with all this conversation now. Now we went completely away from balloons. But you were asking me about where you can find balloons and where you can purchase them, right? And I went off. Basically, I'm local. I'm a glass artist here. I take custom orders, custom requests. If there's a balloon here that you think that you like and you'd like to claim it, or what I'll do is I'll post it on the community page on my YouTube channel here. So make sure you go to my channel, then go to the community section, and you'll be able to see some of the ones that I have posted. And if you just tell me in the comments there, like, hey, I like that one, the one on the lower left, the bottom lower, the second row in the middle, or whatever, I can try to put that aside for you and ship it out. All you got to do is pay shipping. These simple ones here are only $20. So, you know, $30 and it's yours. The shipping is like, you know, anywhere between like $5 and $7, depending on the package, depending on if it's holiday shipping, you know, if it's overseas, if it's overnight, if you need it like in 3 days, you know, there's lots of different things. If you want overnight and it's overseas, you know, I've sent to Canada overnight, and that still takes like a good 3 days to get through customs. So you can't do overnight internationally, but you can get close. And then it costs like, you know, $120 to ship something that quickly to you, even if it's not overnight. So just be aware that, you know, you may want to then purchase a $1,000 order if you're going to be paying $120 in shipping for something overnighted international. You know, but if you're local here, you know, probably ain't more than like $5 to ship locally in the state of New Mexico, and maybe not much more throughout the U.S., you know, with ground shipping or air air to ground shipping or something like that. So where you find me would be on the streets when I'm vending in different markets. Coming up on the first Sunday of every month, I'm usually set up in Nob Hill for their monthly Nob Hill shopping stroll that they haven't. Nob Hill Association has been dropping the ball. They don't promote it. I promote it more than they do, and I don't get paid. But they, they don't promote. There's no signage up in any of the merchants in Nob Hill. And Nob Hill runs along Route 66, so people know Route 66, right? They should be hyping this up for between February and up until July, June. Me and my wife were the only vendors set up on Central, on Route 66. And there were a dozen other vendors on Silver Street. Our friend Manny recently passed away in July, and so that's why June was our last month doing it on Central there. And so now we popped over to Silver, where the Silver Market vendors are, and the traffic is not as good as we had it on Central. But I don't have a location on Central who will just give me their key to their business and allow me to just come and go as I please and set up these events whether they're there or not. It would be nice, but I don't know anywhere. And there's a lot of places that are set up right there. I have a friend who owns a pizza shop just right across the way, a slice parlor, right across from where ABQ Bite was. ABQ Bite's next to the Guild Theater there, next to Il Vicino Pizza, another pizza place, just right across the street from the other pizza place. And, there is no one setting up vendors. Like, why not? The Guild Theater, if he was wise, he could just set up like candies and popcorn, sell it to people on the street. And maybe they'll want to then come in and watch a movie with their popcorn and soda. You'd make some money selling just popcorn and soda on the street during the Nob Hill shopping stroll. But no one is trying to be involved. Ain't no one trying to be the guy. Ain't no one trying to be the one to get things started. It's always follow the leader. Oh, well, no one else is setting up. No one else is doing it. It's like, okay, you can be a leader or you can be a follower. All right, so this one here is this orange and yellow now. This is a difference in color. This will be a beautiful, bright color. And right now it doesn't look like it because the colors, when they're heated up, it looks different. That orange you're seeing is probably the yellow, and the darker color is probably that orange. But it looks like a purple and orange right there, right? But it's not. It's orange and yellow. It's these two colors right here. Super bright crayon colors. Orange and yellow. Right there. All right, so one thing though is I branded out stuff. So the drop of water goes where water is life. When all that stuff happened with Standing Rock, and that's what I was talking about with Standing Rock. When all that stuff happened with Standing Rock, I started to make water drops. Creator basically bestowed upon me this idea that I should make something to represent water, a symbol of water that I can replicate over and over again. That was the message that I heard within, was to make something, a symbol that represents water you can replicate over and over again. And ding, the drop of water came to mind, and that's how it was created. So then I created the drop of water and cobalt. We started selling those for $10 each to raise funds. 30% of the funds, or basically, majority of the profit was going to go directly to Standing Rock. When I started, which was 11/22 of 19, of 20, not 19, of 2016. Was it 2016? Yeah. In 2016, as Standing Rock was going on, that had already occurred since like February of that year. By November, I started creating the drop of water, and between November and February, I only sold 5 of them. So I only raised $15, $3 each from a $10 sale. I raised $15, and I was like, oh wow, like I could donate easily more than that from my own pocket. But for some reason, I continued making the drop of water. I continued having that faith in Creator, knowing that this was bestowed upon me for some reason. I was told, make something that represents water, a symbol of water that you can create over and over again. And the drop of water was formed. So I had to stay true to Creator, and I just kept making them, whether they were selling or not. Now, in that time that I was making them, friends of mine came in and started watching me and watching the drop of water. They're from Acoma Pueblo. They're natives here in New Mexico, and they were asked to be part of the Gathering of Nations powwow in 2017. So then they were part of a special presentation for the Buffalo Dance, and in that time, while they were being asked to go to rehearsals and asked to do this, to learn the songs, to learn the dance, with all 19 Pueblos from New Mexico, the first time in 400 years, all 19 Pueblos from New Mexico danced together for the Buffalo Dance specifically. Now, I don't know if the first time in the 400 years they all danced together, but I can say specifically for the Buffalo Dance, in order to honor water, to honor the water protectors, to honor the buffalo that came down in Standing Rock, when we were at war with our own people and it was never announced up at Standing Rock, they created this dance to honor all of them. And so the Buffalo Dance, you can watch that, Gathering of Nations Powwow 2017 Buffalo Dance. You will see me with the sign right here, this Water is Life sign that's just right here. I'm carrying it on the floor. I'm the only one with the sign, so you won't miss me. Thousands, if not millions of individuals have already watched this video. And so that's where the drop of water was then gifted to 19 individuals who were part of the enchantment, the Pueblo enchantment dancers. That group specifically wore the drop of water. Uh-oh. I think we're at a point now where I'm going to stop the feed here, but I'll finish the story. So the drop of water, I got to get another glass, and I got to take it all out. And we're now at 2 hours. I said I was going to keep this at 1 hour, and that's what happens. Hey, let's see. Can I mimic myself? No. I don't know what's going on. I'm talking about glass balloons or something. I don't know. So I started gifting them at the Gathering Nations powwow at the Buffalo Dance. 19 of them went to individuals for that specific group. So we outfitted all of them in that group, but there were like 200 or 300 other individuals who were part of that. So I decided I would love to gift all of them, to honor them, to be being part of the Buffalo Dance there. In doing so, I then learned that there were a lot of individuals who had come down from Standing Rock specifically to dance and sing in prayer and solidarity with the others at the Buffalo Dance in 2017. So then we started gifting out those individuals, and then I ran into a guy, Orlando Cruz. From that point on, it was history. We started going around gifting out all these individuals. It went from a few individuals to now the number that I have been able to keep track of is 3,800. 3,800? Yeah, 3,806 drops of water that we have gifted to individuals to honor them for being water protectors and protecting the water. So clear water drop necklaces like this here, thousands of them have been gifted out to just thank them. So I have a website that's set up. So getting to your, where do you find products that you can purchase? I do have a website. I lost the domain name during the whole pandemic. And when they shut us down, I lost support. No one was purchasing anything. So I quit paying for my hosting. And I still own the website, like it's mine. I built it, but I also didn't keep track of my domain name. And when it ran out in April, I believe someone in China bought it. They took it. So the dropofwater.com is no more. I've tried to announce this before, but I do have a site on my Square site. So it's like www dot the dash drop dash of dash water dot square dot site, and that should get you to the webpage where you can order the drop of water specifically. These are $10 each. Oh, look at, there's a bee drop too. It's got a little bee on it. It's missing a wing. That's supposed to be a repair job, but it's missing a wing. That's a bee drop. I make those for 20. And yeah, you can only find the drop of water on there. Hey, look at, there's the 13 original balloons that won the best of show last at the state fair this year. 2023 best of show at the New Mexico State Fair. These are the ones up close right there. You can see the detail. These are tiny. These are little things. So yeah, to answer your question, you can find the drop of water on that site there, the square dot site. You can also just message me directly. You can email me at gardunoglass@gmail.com. I'll try to put that in the description below if I can remember. And also, if you just have a special request, you can just ask right here, right now, and then we can figure out, like, I'll just make it for you and we'll figure out how to get it to you in some way or something like that. And I'm always very forthcoming with my prices. I like to keep everything very affordable, except for this collection. If anyone wants this collection right here, I'm not going to go any less than $100,000. Straight up. Seriously, it's a one of a kind. I'm never replicating these original 13 balloons from 1972 ever again. I'm the only glass artist in the world that replicates these balloons. I don't know anyone who's going to spend time to research how these look and make them all. $100,000 if you want this collection. I'll sell it to a private collector, but I would really love it if that purchaser would then take it and then donate it or place it in a museum. I want the balloons, the 13 original balloons, to go to the Albuquerque Balloon Museum here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I want them to find a permanent home there. So that is the goal. If they get sold, I'm not letting them out of my possession for less than $100K. And maybe one day I'll be like, maybe 50, maybe half price. I'll do a half price sale. Today only. Today only. Maybe like that, right? All right. So, but I appreciate you, Colleen, for being the only individual coming in and speaking with me here and actually engaging. I know we've had many other viewers on YouTube, but I do appreciate it. This has been over 2 hours now. I was trying to keep it at 1 hour to keep it simple to watch. It's going to be hard to rewatch this now. And for all of you over here at Facebook, thank you so much for all your love and all your support throughout the years. It's been fun just hanging out and showing you guys what I do. I've always been the one to test out how long can we keep this going, right? And I figured it out without knowing. You get 4 hours. You get 4 hours on Facebook. So I've been known to run the feeds out on Facebook, 4 hour feeds. So going 2 hours on YouTube, it's easy for me to do, but I know that it's not easy to watch. As a YouTube watcher, and I watch videos all day, like with you, Colette, and going with the whole ride-along gang yesterday, spending hours just watching someone driving a driving a semi, right? They're just driving cross country. But I start watching them because they're traveling. They are professional drivers. So, there's something in sovereignty where you can, without a license, without a driver's license, you can travel freely throughout the world. That's a God-given right. You can operate a motor vehicle without needing a driver's license. If you're a driver, that means that you got paid to transport or to take someone or something for them from point A to point B or something like that. So you need a driver's license. You need to be licensed and insured if you're doing business. Now, if you're just traveling, then you're running through sovereign laws and rules. Now, if you if you want to go that route, you will have to deal with a lot of headaches and pain and attorney fees and fighting the court system, and you will win. It's going to take a lot of time and energy and effort to do that. And it's sometimes just easier to go along with things, right? Pay your taxes, vote for a dumbass president. Elect some idiot official that you have never met in your life. You don't know what their values really are. You just know what platform they're selling you on. They're just a bunch of headlines over here. They're not doing this out of the love. They're not doing what they do out of the love of their hearts. So be careful. Be careful of the things that you do and stuff. And hey, Susan is here as well. Hello. So I see that you're now tuned in and watching. Did you also come from the ride along gang? If so, thank you so much. That was so cool. His name is Bobby, right? Um, he actually allowed to have my link, I think, shared. They had the mediator share my link. Never in the history of me ever being on anyone's channel has anyone ever done that for me. All the time, YouTubers are so competitive. Oh, don't share your links on my stream. Oh, don't do this. Like, why? Like, aren't we supposed to be helping each other out here, right? So I have to make sure to give a shout out to Bobby at the Ride Along Gang, and make sure you go and like and subscribe and watch him traveling through. He said he travels through New Mexico all the time, from El Paso to California and things like that. So, yeah, that's so awesome. It's so cool. And now, because you're just here, I want to like continue going more and more. But I've already gone past my 1 hour. We're at 2.5 hours now. But I've been making some really cool things. I don't know if you've seen these. Susan S., this is for you here. And for you guys also at Facebook. This is a custom one I just made. It did not come out right. That white is supposed to be a blue. It's supposed to be a baby blue. What I did is I covered a white with blue, and it came out looking beautiful right there. But then you go and you see it on there, and it showed up white. That blue thinned out so much that I'm just like, oh, I'm just going to use a thin cobalt blue. We're just going to go with the blue, and we're just going to lay it in there. And it should look blue and not white. So I got to replicate this one all over again. But this one is sold. The person that ordered it, they love it already. They're like, I want that one too. And the one that you make again. This balloon that's right behind us is our balloon. So I highly recommend that you subscribe, because I will be going live from Balloon Fiesta Field. I think I'm just sharing some of my cool collectibles and stuff that I got from last year, all the merchandise and stuff, which is in this bag that you see right here. This balloon bag, that's full of all the stuff from last year. I told myself I don't need any more this year, except for maybe a new shirt or a hoodie. But check it out. This balloon right here. There you go. Got to show it on Facebook and YouTube to try to match it up to the shirt so it looks like it's life size there. So yeah, I replicate these ones. These start at $40 and up. They used to be $20 and up. Last year they were 20. I realized after winning Best of Show, because of all the balloons that I had. Hey, before we go, let me grab that real quick. I want to share that with you guys. Give me a moment. Okay, you guys, I'm back. My daughter is awake, so I'm gonna have to let y'all go. Anyways, I didn't realize she's so amazing. She wakes up and then she just reads right away. She loves reading. She loves books. So check it out, guys. Here it is. You know what? They didn't. They didn't write anything on here. It's just a generic. Like, yeah, I bought this for myself. I'm gonna have to write my own information in here. So yeah, there's this one from KOB4, our local media station. 2023 first place KLB4 blue ribbon. And then, so a lot of people got blue ribbons, which confused me. I was like, what happened? Oh, you love glass too, huh? Woohoo! You found the right place then. So then, so then, I show up at the wall. I'm looking. I wish, actually, I should probably show that video, but maybe another time we'll share that video. So then I come walking around the corner, right? I see all the glass. I see there's a lot of blue ribbons, red ribbons. What are they, white too? First, second, and third. I don't know. I remember the blue and the red ribbons, right? And then there was one purple ribbon. And I was like, is that touching mine? Because the way they had it, they had my glass balloons on the table here, which is in that case right there. You've seen it. And then they had this just kind of laid over right on top of it. Well, spin around. Why aren't you spinning? And so it had this that's kind of dangling over, just touching it as it was hanging on the wall. And like, is that mine? Is it the one that belongs below it? And so there it is. Best of show, guys. The Mexico State Fair. I don't know if you can see that gold light. 2023 Best of Show. KLB4, thank you so much. Now, because KLB4 did this, and I'm one to try to get onto the TV stations and get interviews and show off my stuff like that. And I was even on the actual balloon show. Got the balloons, the spirit balloons, to the announcers from the balloons. The announcers they're announcing it all year, or sorry, now announcing it throughout the whole balloon fiesta. There's my entry right there. You can see my name on it and everything right there, and the year. Dan Gardino at the bottom. Original 13 hot air balloons. It says in 1972. It's supposed to say from 1972, 50th anniversary tribute. So I made these for the 50th anniversary. I will try to show them, but I can't lean them forward or they'll roll off. But there they are. Beautiful collection right there. I'm scared to even get too close. I don't want to drop these. I was so nervous of leaving these with other individuals. It's like, I have to leave these with you now in order to enter them. Like, maybe I don't want to enter them. I was so scared I was gonna have to replicate them again. But there it is, the award-winning ribbons right there. I probably need to hang these on the wall back here, right? Somewhere. I don't want to cover the whole water is life and stuff. And we can't put it here because it'll melt, because that's where my kiln is. Well, where would be the best place? Maybe right there. Maybe we'll figure out how to hang these somehow. Oops. Well, we'll figure it out one day. All right, but that's the award-winning glass right there. Like I said, I won't sell that collection for less than $100K. I never want to sell it. That's why I'm just overpricing it, like way too priced, right? But if you want to get replicated balloons, these only start at $40, and I probably won't charge more than $60 for that. I know I can charge $100 each on these. Some of these take me an hour and 22 minutes. I know that I can charge $100 on. I know. I'm the only one who makes them in the world. I know. I'm gonna keep my glass affordable as I always have. They're $40 and up, maybe 50, maybe 60. So, but yeah, I will make sure that those are displayed somehow, somewhere. I can't put them on there because that's full of ink. That's a T-shirt printing press right here. This thing says "Water is life." which I should have that T-shirt out too, so then you know, the water is life. The hidden leaf motif. It's got cannabis or hemp leaves in it, and which I'm a huge advocate. I actually have a new job on a national level representing New Mexico as a hemp representative. That's amazing. There's so many things that I got going on, so make sure you subscribe. Be sure to like, share this out. I'm gonna let y'all go because my daughter's up and I gotta start making breakfast. I'm hungry too. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Make sure that you guys, when you go see Bobby, let them know that you came and saw the Glass Man and saw me do some beautiful work over here. Hey, there's our balloon card right there. We'll have some new balloon cards this year. They're hard to get, and we're very limited with only like 2 little boxes, like a few thousand each. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Love and blessings, Gary. Let's contact each other soon. If you're gonna be in town, let me know through Messenger, and I'll meet up with you. And yeah, we'll have a little session. I'm gonna go have a session right now. It's recreational here in New Mexico, so time to get green. All right, love and blessings. You guys have a beautiful day. See y'all.